These beats are the purest. Roll it, roll it.
And welcome on in, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6 Week 11 matchup between the Fyxestroll Foxians and the Westfarthing Frogges. And I'm going to join me tonight will be Topaz. And Topaz, we got ourselves a fairly important matchup, not for the Frogges per se, but for the Foxians, clinging for that potential final 2 playoff spot in the fight with the Bloomington Bobcats and the Floppas right now. So a win here would do them wonders, and a loss might spell doom for them going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's really... Yeah, I mean, this is playoffs, right? Like you said, like if they need to do well, they need to win, all right? So I am, and then I'm kind of hoping they lose personally because I'm a Bobcat, right? I want to clinch my spot, but at the same time, I wouldn't be mad if they clinched, the Floppas didn't, and then I didn't have to face Wind. That's all I don't want. I just don't want to face Ramshackle Roosters. So I hope they win. I hope Floppas do bad, or the opposite. But I think it should be a good match. I played against Akua and his team. Akua absolutely dominated us when he went Doom. Probably not on this map. And then I'm in Troubletron as the Weaver Goat. So very excited for this matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, when we look at this match in particular, you know, a lot of people had the Foxians rated pretty highly going into the season, actually, like in preseason power rankings, and believing in the power of Akua and Dyer and kind of that kind of duo right there. And has been a bit of an unceremonious season for him so far, but last couple weeks have definitely bounced back after a rough start and are kind of getting hot at just the right time, which is exactly what you want here for the Foxians. And if you're the Frogges, you are going to be down Chloe, going to be ringing instead, it's going to be Fancy on that tank role. So of course, two straight games where ringer shenanigans might just spell defeat for the higher seeded team, but we'll have to wait and see going into Antarctic Peninsula, we'll be having a Junker Queen mirror with Akua on the tank here rather than the DPS, which is something we've been seeing a lot more Foxians recently.
Yeah, I think the Ana versus Curie is also very interesting. Interesting. Already a pick.
Okay, that's gonna be 2 quick kills coming through for the Frogez as the DPS duo. You know, no Chloe, no problem, as they clean a nice 3K for the team there. They're gonna claim first objective capture for the Frogez, and I mean, yeah, like you're saying, the Ana versus the Kiriko, we saw the Ana nade hit, but just instantly cleansed, and a bigger wall from Jack to isolate his own tank, and just a bit of a miscoordination.
Yeah, this is interesting. No Junos, right, as well, and then the Tracer versus Mei. And then, but like the Mei Ana is very interesting to me. I feel like the Tracer Curie makes a lot more logical sense.
They do find Cupcake, though, so another early pick for either of these teams, and McChicken sleeping over on the point, sleep on the job. Goes into college for 3 months, all of a sudden got to take a nap on point, but wakes up fresh and recharged, getting 2 quick kills. Still an even fight on point. Jack falling low, has to cheat for now, gets some healing. Now, Dark Queen's exchanging cooldowns here. The nade not quite gonna land, but Chartron not so lucky. Jack lands on Icicle. The sleep is dodged here from McChicken. Has the rally, or has the rampage to the side and visit here. Jack uses block on point. Cupcake has returned to the fray. So now it's a 3-on-4, but Jack takes Cupcake back out once again. A huge rampage here from Fancy lands on 3 members of the Foxians as Para comes into Troy, cleans one up, and looks like just in time. Fancy stays alive just long enough and lands that rampage with the healing, spraying the ground to show his dominance.
Yeah, I mean, obviously great plays from McChicken, but I also think Para surviving way longer than they should have. Just using wall climb, Suzu, TP, all that stuff. Just 1 HP so many times. And then also now has the Suzu for Akua's rampage, right? This looks really good for McChicken and the Foxians.
I mean, yeah, we're also seeing HPSec finally getting that nano boost online. Deciding who to really put that on. Nice wall will isolate over on towards Fancy, but Para with that Kusina Roshoki Joker Queen, nice and healthy. Here comes the rampage from Akua, lands on 2 members of Suzu. Not going to hit any of them, though. So remaining in a tough situation here is going to be the Frogez, as just barely going to maybe clear this one through enough ultimates. But, I mean, if you are the Frogez, not too bad there. You exchange a lot of ultimates from the Foxians in exchange for just your Kusune Rush, and you have 93% of 1-fight territory for you to claim this point, instead of a great point for map 1.
Yeah, I'd be happy. Also, swap HVSec. Well, swapping to the Curie makes a lot of sense, right? Like, Nano is not as good, I feel. But I feel like McChicken and the Foxians just need to play fast, get a fight in, use some ults, hopefully try to get the beat out, and then come on with ults of their own, and they just need 1 fight to win. I would bait and then really invest next fight.
Hiding out from Cupcake will force to the wall from Jack over on the side as well as his block, so Jack no cooldowns going into this fight. Could be a deciding factor. The point, uncontested, will flip over for the Fox, but Chartron charged on in, no fear, and pays for it with their own life. Dire with a high noon as well, trying to zone off the Froggish from this point, but Jack punished on this aggressive play. War Ajax hits, and now here comes the Rampage, letting all 3 remaining members of the Foxians as Francie, a.k.a. McChicken, a.k.a. the childhood wonder, the Wunderkind, if you would, trying to make it work, and looks they're going to do just that, as Frogez, on a bit of an Ajax misplay from War, will claim the first point of Antarctica Peninsula.
Yeah, I understand why he held it for so long, though. I feel like it was kind of a forced beat. He didn't want to use it because the Queen had ult. He'd love to save it for Queen ult, but just was forced out and just waited a bit too long, unfortunately. He had to either wait longer or just beat sooner. So unfortunate, but I wonder if HVSec swaps back to the Ana, obviously better on this map, I would say, or at least playable on this map. And I think the Mei has been working pretty well, all things considered, but potentially, I mean, that's the difference, right? Like, maybe swap and match, just go for a full mirror, but maybe they like the Mei more.
I mean, yeah, we also saw them have way more ability to win fights with this Kiriko swap off the Ana. HVSec can stick with this one, but Dire, no more Cassidy going over onto the Genji here. What do you think about that selection?
I mean, interesting no-hit scan, right? I guess Queen hates facing his scan, right? So I don't know why they're swapping off of it entirely. But
the wall here is going to isolate over on towards Fancy, but the Susan Power just in time for us out of block. Chartron flying low, happy people, so are the Foxians, flying extremely low, but the Suzu from HVSec not there to keep him alive through Cupcake's barrage of bullets. Right to the head, and now we're going to have the Foxians trying to survive as long as possibly can. They're going to get one for the trouble of Cupcake once again. Or he's 70% to his high noon, putting in a lot of damage this fight. Can't land a shot once to start spectating him, of course. But 75% towards a high noon, and a great start here for the Froggers once again.
Yeah, I feel like the Cupcake on the cast was just dinking more, right? But if you're going to play the Genji, you need to do more on the Genji, go faster, right? But then you also have the Mei, right? So trying to like wall and then engage with the Genji shout. When the Queen, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting game plan. I mean, I'm assuming Jack is just very comfortable on the Mei.
And early Suzu is forced here as the Fox is using the shout to get aggressive on this to try to get a kill, but in fact Jack with the one to fall. As we do have both DPS now out of the fight for the Foxians here. And more cleanup coming in for the Froggers once again, despite forcing the early Suzu out of Para. It's going to be the Froggers taking the aggression and taking the kills home.
Yeah. Swapping to the cast, I like that a lot. Play more slowly, more methodically. Can't lose there, but it's fine, it's fine. And then Pharah, I think Pharah's... I like the Pharah, right? Only Cassidy to counter, and I mean, he's not the best counter, right? I really like the Pharah swap, personally.
Yeah, but Dante Fan hit the stick hiding in the corner. We saw the outline of the Tracer. And Jack did not have that privy going in a small little room. The Pulse One's going to land once again. And what's happening is just, again, drawing out the percentage, drawing out these slow fights. And Farah's not very fast from spawn either. So free 20%.
Yeah, also with the swaps, like, Akua and his team don't have as many ults. I mean, they have ults now, but their ult is kind of messed up. So that's going to be a big influence on this next fight here.
A great knife, though, from Akua. Pulls Cupcake off the high ground, but Cupcake instead shows no fear in the face of Junker Queen. Takes that kill, and now, once again, the Foxians trying to get back in time, but it's 80%, and I don't really know if they have a full 5-man contest coming up here, walking into 3 ultimates from the Froggers.
This touch is going to be rough, even, like, I guess Fire touch, right? Lucio, maybe? They need to get on the point, though. This is not going to be an easy fight, especially with ultimates.
Yeah, trying to get there. Cool will be the one to get the touch over on towards the point. The Ajax not there for war this time as a high noon from Cupcake trying to find some skulls, but instead finds the rampage from Akua. A 2-man rampage here from McChicken in the response, but it's going to be Jack in the Skies controlling this fight. There's going to be some fight back though for the Froggers, but Dante Fan can't do too much more. Down to recall, down the blinks. And we are going to get a flip here for the Foxians to take this point and hopefully reverse sweep this map at this point, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult, right? The ults that they have coming up are not the best, of course, Deadeye and Barrage, but potentially, honestly, on this point, I think Barrage is not bad on this point, and Deadeye just zone with it. It's save some time for your team. But yeah, Foxians need to try to get something done here without an ult.
He tried to get done. Jack does has a barrage here ready to go, potentially looking to unleash it. Once McChichen goes a little too crazy here, forced out a recall from Dante Fan, so Dante Fan to position, does have Pulse Bomb here ready to go. So potentially looking for a stick, will land over HP set, can't Suzu in time. Barrage up top, but doesn't do too much. As now Dyer trying to flip it here for the high noon, but the Suzu is perfectly timed by Para to stop that damage coming on through. And that will be the Froggers taking this flip and taking this map in the series.
Yeah, I really like the aggression from the Foxians. I think they're playing... I mean, obviously, like, Akua and his team want to play a little bit more passive, but just the aggression feels really nice from them. I think that's what's winning them so many fights here.
As these any adaptations coming through, you know, you think you're down Chloe, which is kind of the main pusher of your team. You see her always playing around corners and being aggressive, but really no loss in that playstyle right now for the Froggers with the Ringer. No issues whatsoever. So to see what the Foxians have up their sleeves for map number 2 after a short break, do not go anywhere. Overwatch Clash continues after this.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it. These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
And welcome on in, everybody, to Overwatch Clash Season 6 Week 11 matchup here between the Westfarthing Fyxestroll and the Fyxestroll Foxians. And we saw the Fyxestroll taking this first map of Antarctic Peninsula in a fairly decisive fashion. Now we're going into Hollywood, and the swaps are kind of here for the Foxians. We were discussing in the break, you know, the match was actually fairly close despite the 2-0 scoreline, and now the Foxians kind of going over to their quote-unquote main look here with the Akua back on the DPS, Dyer on tank. Hardchart does come in as well for DPS, but you want to point out here Jack is also a very good Juno player, so that's definitely something to look out for. But Fancy on the Roadhog, which is always a terrifying thing if you've been around for a couple of years in Aurora. But we'll have to see what the adaptations are here for the Foxians.
Yeah, and it's defense, so dude's actually playing it. Yeah, and then Lucio Curie on defense. I'm personally not the biggest fan. I think that the Foxians will just have the better comp, to be completely honest. I think that they are. It's really just looking like they're looking for picks, right? Cupcake, Dante Fan, McChicken, all looking for picks, and if they don't get that, they lose the brawl.
But it is Fancy. You know, I know you're a rookie here, but this is kind of his legendary signature hero right now, and opens things up with Dante Fan finding the kill on Akua, shutting down that Genji carry for the Foxians very quickly in this fight, and now Fancy trying to reclaim high ground control, but Dyer is there, but another hook in, but the DM perfectly placed from Dyer keeps him alive. course, the Susan Power as well. So Akua will be back momentarily, and this fight still is yet to really be decided, but the cooldowns have been exchanged in favor of the Foxians for now. Fancy force drop to the low ground here. Can't quite land the hook despite the massive bodies up there. Dire, though, falling very low in the cafe. The healing is there, and the Suzu will keep him up. So it is a 1-for-1, but Akua jumps on in off the back of Dire in this cafe and finds the picks alongside Jack, and that might just be point A going the way of the Foxians despite the early picks.
Yeah, I think that's another thing. They kind of need more than one pick, too. They were able to set up. Great deflect. They were able to set up and just kind of wait for the respawn and then just dive again, right? And then there was no picks that, like, second kind of engage. Also, I think the D.Va is going to be able to do so much against their comp, right? Against Hog, against Echo, against Ashe. She's great into all of them.
I mean, we're seeing it as well. Like, the DMs from Dire are just perfectly placed, keeping Fancy from gaining his pick, because laying the hooks just can't get the kills.
Yeah, exactly. Like, denying those picks that they need so desperately. I also think that Juno's really good on this point. And Brig, right? Like, just keep people off of high ground. They're going to dominate high ground this entire time. And Genji playing off of that, and Hard Charge is beaming him down with his rifle, I guess.
Cart does continue to move here. Fancy up on the high ground with the deflect from Akua. Will be there trying to stop this Hoffer getting too much value. We're going to have the Blade as well from Akua. Trying to find one. Does find Charvatron. Looking for Cupcake, but the Coach Gun is there. The deflect on the hook, though, from Akua. Just trying to stay nice and healthy on top of this kind of jail. And with both sports gone, the deflect, or the duplicate was used from Dante Fanfan, but can't quite build up this duplicate bomb. Dire has self-destruct for losing this mech, but the cart's still moving here, Topaz, and looking pretty good for the Foxians.
Yeah, disengage. I mean, they like the bomb's gonna be nice. The Roadhoggle's gonna be very nice. But I'm thinking, I'm kind of surprised Power didn't swap. To be completely honest, I guess just to help McChicken survive. But if this fight doesn't go well, potentially some swaps will be coming in.
Bob comes out here, Hardchar on the high ground with this tactical visor, trying to get anything done, but the Bob will contest the cart for long enough for the reinforcements to be there. McChicken using the whole hog on the point. Dire losing this mech. So it looks like the ult advantage comes to fruition here for the Frogez as they hold with just 1.02 meters remaining on this point, and now really a clean ult pick for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good push. Like, ultimately, good hold, but better push, right? Foxians look great, and but now we're seeing McChicken and his team have the high ground. We didn't see that before. And with the Hog, potentially going to be able to hold it quite well. And then boops from Jarvatron as well. And then look, I mean, that poke is going to be so difficult to get across. The D.Va will be able to mitigate some of it, but potentially not all of it.
So yeah, so that approach is waiting for the DM from Dire to be online for the speed ring right through here. And now they're going to use the rally on the high ground to clear this off. And with Fancy down, that might just be the point. Cupcake falling low, and Charvatron Ajax is on the point as Akua finds 3 with the dashes. And that'll be, once again, a blazing point B capture. Now 4 minutes left in the time bank, and McChicken swaps off the Roadhog. Dante Fanfan over on the Cassidy as well. So Fog is trying to find an answer to this new Foxians look, and honestly looks like a completely new team with the roster swaps.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the Queen swap, but then going into double hit scan with a Curie Lucio seems very weird to me. I don't, especially when you're facing a Genji and a D.Va. Like, I mean, I like the cast, right? Obviously, the cast is nice, but double hit scan just feels weird. So, and then Kitsune versus Orbital. I prefer the Orbital any day of the week.
And the problem is here, you chase Tarchar off the high ground, but you also give up your positioning chasing that soldier, trying to get the pick on the Mega, and didn't quite get an order rate for Casino Rush exchange here. Both supports ready to go. Kua does have Blade, unleashes it right now, tries to find one, finds Dante Fanfan with the help of the orbital ray. Looking for Cupcake as well. Cupcake down, but is exchanged out in the back line. But the point is still there, and now McChicken can't get there in time. The bomb will stop it.
Yeah, and just too far. They just went too far.
I mean, that whole point was just too far. The overaggression chasing the soldier when, you know, he has the ability to literally run away. That's just one thing he's got. So he's outran the team's rotation. And then, yeah, Jack just stands on point menacingly and pushes it forward. And now, 3 minutes in the time bank. And I think no matter how well the Frog is look here on their attack, it's going to be tough to match that time bank.
Yeah, I mean, I potentially actually like the Froggas more on attack. I think that their kind of weirder comps favor the attack more, especially like that hyper pick focus. But at the same time, well, like I said earlier, like they need to get the picks, right? If they don't get the picks, they're not doing anything. But also potentially having, or just don't play pick. Having Queen, I like. Sombra is interesting. But then just matching the Juno rig, I think just makes a lot of sense, right? Like that Kitsune did nothing when there was an orbital on the field. The ults just aren't impactful enough. And then I like the cast, right? Especially if they're going to be, if you know they're probably going to be playing some Diva Genji stuff. I think I like the comp significantly more. And then, yeah, I guess Hardchar is beaming down the cast too, though. That's kind of interesting. I really want to see what Dante Fan, if they stay Sombra, what they're going to be doing with that. Because it feels like I guess maybe like an anti-dive Sombra, or just go Tracer. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe, try to hack off Dire, get the defense matrix out of the way for Cupcake. But yeah, they're just doing a bit of spawn trolling on the Sombra here. But I mean, if you're the Foxians, win 2 fights, and you basically got better time bank going forward here. So Frog has a huge hill to climb here on Hollywood, but ready to go, picking out War in the cafe. Now they know the target for this dive potentially, but Jack puts in a significant amount of damage. The speed ring up onto the high ground here for the Frogges, trying to get this position away from Dire, but Dire having the defense matrix keep him and Akua alive on the high ground, and really nothing they can do. McChicken trying to push forward here, trying to get this Diva off the high ground, but the healing from Jack is just too prevalent. Power and charge on both 1 HP, and Dire clears up both supports, seemingly with 1 bullet, as they both died almost instantaneously. Dire with a 3rd, and now it is just McChicken on the point, trying to get 1 for the team back. Huge pull off the high ground, but not going to be nearly enough, as Dire on the high ground, immovable.
Yeah, I don't know if production caught it, but the Frogga's rotation was very sloppy. Some people went low, the ring was in a weird spot. I mean, they were looking around, seeing where their team was. They need to play fast. They need to play ring. They go up high ground, maybe wait a little bit, maybe just go further. Like, they need to be decisive. They want to play fast.
And now you look at, too, the orbital rate difference here, 53 to 88 for Jack. A huge advantage for them right now. Could be a change. They're going through the far rotation here, but all that does, it allows Jack to build his final 5% for the orbital rate before the fight really breaks out. We'll see how this goes forward here as, again, Jack just gained his last bit of healing here, force orbital ray to be online. Akua 20 to the blade, but the orbital ray will be over onto the point. Now Dire drops in, isolates out on a Charbatron. Cupcake with the high noon gets defense matrix by Dire, and we're seeing the difference here between the Diva and, the Roadhog and Junker Queen. Is just Dire's able to shut down so much. The Frog has comp almost single-handedly with 1 ability.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though. It's orbital ray, like it's the best ult in the game, and you trade that for Deadeye, right? Now we have Queen ult, and you have your own orbital ray, and now swapping to Adventure as well. I mean, these are some very strong ults. I feel like they have to cap. If they must use these ults correctly, and if they do, they will cap.
Parra also fell down like 20 HP. There was able to stay alive, going around that corner in a small cafe, order a small cafe, and get back into it. Now, still the speed ring comes out on the low ground, and again, it seems a bit discombobulated. Now, Dante Fan stuck in the back line here, trying to stay alive. Fell down to critical, but see if they notice this Venture is completely isolated. But Akua actually gets punished for trying to get down onto that Venture. So a good start here for the Frogges. Potentially trying to take point A here. Still very back and forth with Akua down and out Jack. That will probably be a reset called for the Foxians, but a very good defense here on A. Get out their orbital ray. But I mean, I shout out to Dante Fan. They're staying alive on the dive through Akua.
Yeah, that was good. Also, I think you save Queen ult, right? That's great. Potentially save it for orbital array. That's kind of crazy, but you could do that if you wanted to. Because otherwise, what else do you have for it? But I mean, the Foxians now have 4 ults coming online. But Cupcake to the Widow.
Not
see some nice picks here.
Not the best start. Losing out on power before the fight even really begins, and Dante Fan taking down the blade is just cosmetic at this point from Akua. Maybe gets 1 for Chartron, doesn't get with the blade, but gets with the reset. And now they're going to stagger out McChicken here, potentially. The healing torpedo is just barely not in time. Cupcake swaps to the Widowmaker, trying to get a pick out of spawn, but not going to do so. And the Frog guys once again forced to reset.
I mean, I think that's a huge misstep, though, using Blade and Rally for, like, no reason. I mean, you won the fight, but, yeah, I mean, you still have Soldier ult, which is nice, but big misstep from them.
But now look at this very aggressive hold here, basically defending point A once again as Cupcake down. Rampage out from Fancy lands on both supports here. The knife is going to land, but Akua's already found 2 in the back, and now both supports gone. It is just McChicken once again trying to walk down onto War, trying to get a Brigitte, but just barely dodges out on that axe swing. and not going to get that kill, and now the Fox can once again continue to hold so close, and the cart basically back to beginning.
Yeah, I feel like the identity of the Frogger's comp is very all over the place now. I think the Mei is a great swap, right? Like, going into that more faster brawl is really good, but the Ku on the... I don't know, this is a... Okay. But yeah, I think it makes more sense, and Dante Fan gets a pick.
Yeah, Akua playing up in that corner, but, I mean, they kept shooting him, they just didn't leave. He knew they were... You know, whatever. Both DPS now gone, and now War... Dyer just trying to touch car for long as possibly can, get a couple more minutes, a couple more seconds for the team, and that will be a fight with Frogez. And now we'll see if they look to take the high ground here or if we'll leave it to defense. And Kua's already up there, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I think wide open space, right? This is great for Visor. And then Diva Bomb just for the sustain. I like it. I really like the Mei swap, though. And then Cupcake potentially will be doing a lot more in the Widow on this point. I think that the Frogges have a great comp right now.
Headshot does land over on towards War for Dante Fan, but gets belted away by Dyer on the defense matrix. We have the Tactical Visor up from Hardchar, finding over on towards Para, and now Cupcake, so a 2K for the Soldier. And that will probably be the fight victory. Chartron as well, trying to get one for her troubles, but yeah, there will be Jack finally going down, but the kills are here, hot and heavy. I mean, that's both sports down, however, but nobody there to flop on this one.
Yeah, great Visor, right? Yeah. I mean, 5 ults though, right? Like that's gonna feel good for 30 seconds. 30 seconds left, but I mean, orbital rally matching. This blade goes crazy, but I feel like he just blizz it. So really looking at Queen ult to get a lot of value. Probably waiting for Jack's orbital ray to go down and then just cancel out that ultimate effectively. Interesting that they're going low ground, especially when they have the Widow.
And the Foxes will definitely take this. Again, it's just a slow, methodical push that can bounce up and down from the high ground to the low ground for contesting purposes. But here comes a blade out from Akua, trying to find one power, 1 HP, but just can barely knock it away. It was 1 second from that one. Now Cupcake is the target for Akua, finding another here. War's rally will get taken down pretty quickly, though, on towards point with the Rampage here, trying to get something done, but now Boar support's gone. Power swapping to the Lucio for potential last contest, but it's just McChicken on this point with a deflect in his face. And that will probably send us to a tied series here. Cupcake and Power will touch on the recontest characters, but instantly melted away. And that will be Hollywood going the way of the Foxians, and these swaps paying dividends so far.
Yeah, great swaps. I think both the teams, but especially the Froggas, they need to make sure that their comps work together. Like swapping for counter swapping makes a lot of sense, but like if your team doesn't have any kind of cohesion, the swaps are useless, or actually worse than just not doing that, especially with all charge. So, but much better play from both of them. I think it was way closer, and I'm excited. This could be a map 5.
I mean, with so much on the line here for the Foxians, you definitely hope it is a map 5 banger for both these teams. I think the Frog is also fighting for seeding, not quite sure yet, but I'll check that in the break. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Overwatch Clash will continue after this.
These beats are the purest. Prove it.
cool. And welcome on back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6 Week 11 matchup between the Westfarthing Froggies and the Fyxestroll Foxians. And we saw, you know, the Foxians kind of bouncing back after a rough first map, going down 2-0, and now taking a Highwood in a very decisive manner, kind of in the same exact way. And now we're basically back to square one for both these teams. Of course, Foxians kind of having something more to play for here, being that final potential playoff spot. Whereas now we're going over onto Rialto, which is definitely playing more into the Cupcake Widowmaker angle, trying to play for their hit scan, but Akua might be looking to shut that down once again.
Yeah, I think the pressure's on the Foxians, though. Obviously, they're trying to get seeded. Froggies don't care as much, but, like, this is their main roster, right? They want to win here, potentially lose next map, and then on map 5, they can bring back their stronger roster and win that map there. But if they lose here, their next map will be harder for them, especially because they don't get to choose the map then. So a lot of pressure on them. And then playing the Ram on defense, though. Ram Moira on defense is very interesting. A lot of sustain, I guess, looking for the hard brawl, but that
definitely
Genji,
one of the comps of all time, I would say.
Yeah, Genji Diva into Widow though is gonna feel pretty horrible for the Widow, but she's playing so far back.
Yeah, Cupcake playing around this fountain right now, but the cart continued to really have no unimpeded progress. Akua though is way in the back and taking down my Dante Fanfan potential, but Dante Fanfan forced to block away as now Akua gets that very viable cooldown away as well as a fade from Nuttier. So see the Fox side to get aggressive on this one, but it's actually going to be McChicken chasing down Jack in the backline trying to fly away and stay alive as they take the high ground but leave their Juno, you know, by herself, and the Foggers continue to just kind of hold here. Very low HP pools right now for the Foggers on high ground. Akua on the flank, but still a very just slow, methodical pusher for Foxen so far.
Yeah, like I said, like I like the Diva and the Genji into the Widow, but like I think Akua is doing a great job of getting to the Widow.
Oh. All right, interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it matters. I think Cupcake's just gonna die.
Yeah, can't really pause mid-fight either, so we'll see what goes on here. We'll give him a couple seconds to kind of figure this out. So, I mean, we're seeing now the pincer finally coming together right now. As Akua goes on to the back line, trying to get killed in the Widowmaker, and now we're seeing the speed ring engage from the front here. So we'll see, you know, what the kind of main target is once Cupcake goes down. Is it getting, you know, the Ram low? Is it find the Moira, trying to get her out of the fight? We'll have to see. Okay, we do have an R coming out from Charbatron, so probably going right back in here fairly soon. I'm stuck on Dante Fanfan going up on the high ground here on the wall, so I can't really see too much except for the Maze peripheral vision right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Harchar is going to have a lot of vision and probably just beam some people down. That's what I'm expecting to have happen here.
Well, I'll take your word for it, and I'll swap to his cam right away once we go for the on-pause here. And Jeb just does it instantly onto Charbatron and Nuttier. Cupcake will get taken down. Dire falls in the back line here. Might get taken out of the mech as McChicken once again just walking in and finding kills with the Ram form. It's a Mei and a Ramatra on point right now. Hardchar just melting him down from the high ground. And now Dante Fanfan will finally fall. And yeah, that comes back to a good coordinated dive on the back line there. And like you said, Hardchar melting down the health supports, or the health pools of those supports.
I feel like they could touch. It might be a little bit messy, but potentially a touch coming up here.
I mean, Dire doesn't have a mech, so it's definitely doable. Cupcake as well, so off the Widowmaker, tries to go to the cast. They cannot touch in time, just a millisecond off for that to come through. War will go on down, but Hardchar still on his high ground, takes down Nuttier, but no real point of fighting here for the Froggies. You're just feeding all charge, and
yeah,
that was a very close contest, and you already have Blizzard, not, I guess, get the team reset, but...
Yeah, I like the Froggies comp, though, honestly. I think especially with Cupcake swapping to the cast, like this like almost zombie cop brawl sort of thing is great when you're facing a Genji and even a Soldier as well. But I mean, 4 ults, right? Orbital, Blade, Visor. It's gonna be hard to stop, but Blizzard is gonna be great at it, and I think potentially some counterplay with Cole and Annihilation is what they're looking for here.
Walking down Osborne Gita is going to be McChicken with the Annihilation. Orbital Ray is under the pass here. So we 1-for-1 exchange of cool, whipping out this blade, trying to bring it back for the squad. Buying Charmatron, Nutter in the backline with Coalescence, but the kills are here for the Foxians. Once again, Nutter trying to get one more over onto Jack, but Dire with a save. And he used Annihilation, used Coalescence for just the blade orbital. Not too shabby for the Foxians here.
Yeah, I think the Blizzard was the key ultimate that they needed to use there, and maybe save something else or just rip 3. I think the Blizzard would have potentially turned that fight.
The push in here from Dire as well, trying to get McChicken into a tough position, force out that Nemesis form block early, does so just that, wasting this cooldown, this pivotal cooldown for the fight before it really breaks out. But once again, Dante Fan, the one to look out for here with this Blizzard ready to lay down, but Akua in their face. Hardchar using the visor on the high ground to chase down the soldier. The Susan comes out from Ward during the Blizzard, but they've already lost out to Hardchar. Here comes the bomb from Dire, trying to get one, but Akua gets the kill, and now with Charmatron down. It's just Nutter here for the healing. Cupcake has High Noon from underneath here, back towards point C, but Akua is hunting down this Cassidy. Can't quite land the flashbang, but lands a shot regardless, and lands another one. And now Dire losing out that mech on the point. Cupcake lighting up this kill feed right now with the Peacemaker. Oh, another headshot here. Now it's just Hardchar on the point. Will get taken down. And a miracle comes out here for the Frog as his name is Cupcake.
Yeah, great. And McChicken is built ult again. That's awesome. Kind of crazy.
Okay. Not good. The miracle already gone.
Yeah. Yes. Crazy that we use Beat and Blizzard and don't win off of that. But I mean, they win anyway, so who's complaining?
Can't complain about that one, but the overray from Jack does pull it out here, but McChicken's already found 2 in the back one with Annihilation and the help of Nutter with the pocket on that Moira healing. An unstoppable force and an immovable object at the same time, being McChicken in this Nemesis form, just pushing forward on a Dire, gets them out of the mech. Dire just has to jump off the map for now. And despite the early pick over on the Cupcake, again, kind of unorthodox methods here for the Froggas to win these fights, but they're making it work. Yeah,
I think trading backlines with McChicken using
Okay, that's the backline gone, and now Hardchar's gonna die to a skill orb!
That's crazy. The McChicken primary fire kill as well is kind of insane. But I think McChicken played a great idea going for the backline, and then Nuttier surviving with that fade was very useful, but then swapping over to the Hanzo now. Hanzo, Genji, and then Juno, Kiri, Diva. Interesting comp. I understand. I'm confused on why the Hanzo.
Because it's Pogchuck. You know, if you for you go watch League enjoyers out there, Hardchar back on kind of a signature DPS. The Logchuck is here, and there you go. The Logchuck finds one to start off here. Gets Cupcake is now 1-for-1. A lot of people very low on the side of the Frog gets, but the Blizzard will stave off the aggression right now. Dante Fan trying to stay loud as long as they will, and Dire losing the mech on point now. 30 seconds remaining. Sager probably gonna come through here over onto Dire.
Dire just needs to jump off. I don't know why he's waiting.
Yeah, now 15 seconds. A Kusosta Widowmaker, the stalled Widowmaker, classic.
Yeah. I mean, they have no brawl, but I mean, they have no damage though. I do not. I mean, this is gonna be so difficult for them. They also need a touch.
It did not come in the form of war. Dead almost immediately upon arrival, and now Logchuck in the back trying to find one, but it's a fading Moira, the only thing they possibly see. Dire the bomb. It needs to be an absolute clutch move here. Finds Cupcake, but probably not going to be nearly enough as they have Beat from the other side. Should they need a celebratory bit of armor here for the Froggas with this Beat. We also have War hitting the roll of a lifetime, and Nutter sent out spawn looking for the statue for Kua, but not good for his squad, and he runs into a wall with a grapple. And about just towards the end of point B, all the Foxians are going to go.
Yeah, I wonder how much that hesitation from Dire to jump off the map influenced that. I feel like potentially someone else still had to touch instead of him, but maybe instead of 2-3 of your teammates dying before the tank gets back, only one, and potentially turn that. So a misplay there, I think. But at the same time, I think they both played very well. Interesting to see the offense now and what they're choosing to play. I wonder if the comps will stay the same. I feel like probably not, right? Swapping from offense to defense, but there's a chance that they stay.
The thing you gotta keep in mind here is McChicken/Fancy is limited to Chloe's hero pool, which of course is Roadhog, Doomfist, Ramatra, and there's one more I'm forgetting. Queen.
Ryan, right? Okay,
nope, Queen. Those are the 4 that she can play. So it's all McChicken can play as well, making it work so far right now on the Ramatra. And Akua will go on to the Tracer, maybe looking to put some more pressure onto the backline potentially, as well as Cupcake on this Cassidy. No need for the Genji really without the Widowmaker in play. But we do see Hardchar sticking with the Hanzo. We saw, switch to one fight and basically put the Dragon in that one fight. So Hardchar, proficient on the Hanzo, will put more long-range damage and pressure on their Ramatra shield.
Yeah, I like it, right? Like, outrange their whole team, right? It's just a sniper character. At the end of the day, you're just playing Widow, but with logs instead of bullets. So, I think it makes sense. Cool on the Tracer, too. Who's his target? Like, I guess the Lucio? He's gonna... Yeah, I'm curious what Akua's gonna be doing here.
Yeah, we'll see up above them right now. Waiting for their card to move forward just a little bit, potentially waiting for a target to come alive. It is going to be Cupcake, but rolls right back to help with the supports. Dante Fanfan as well, taking a bit of bullets here from the Pulsar rifles of Akua, but right now the card continues to move on his underpass. I mean, Cupcake is just sitting here waiting for Akua to show up and just shoot him the second he popped his head and did just that. Across the bridge, playing far away. The slow's in. McChicken has Nemesis form, but has a block. Falling fairly low, has to block away. Speedring for the engage here as the dive is finally being called. But the block and the healing from Nutter is just simply too much for anybody to really fall here. Dire has to get out. Another cooldown cycle can come back in favor of the Frogez, as they're going to have Nemesis form ready to go once again for McChicken. And a bit of over-aggression on Cupcake, finding both supports. Akua trying to get his health pack away from Nutter, but the fight going heavily in favor of, and Dire finally jumps on the map, but they probably got a touch here.
Yeah, also great survival from Dante Fanfan, I think, and then great slow from McChicken. This touch, I feel like they don't. I feel like they can't.
They're going for it, as Jack is on the high ground, and there's both supports down, and this might be worse than the Foxians touch. The pulse bomb for Ego here for Akua, but you can already tell he's typing there as he's standing still. But
surely he swaps. Surely he swaps. He must. I feel like he swaps junk. They're going junk.
Junkrat.
Junk Tracer.
Okay, really? You type for 45 seconds and that's all you got? Cake cupped? Okay, my goat's washed. It's tough to see. And now goes forward. My goat is absolutely washed.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, the junk holds this up top spam, and then, I don't know, it kind of makes sense.
I'm so flabbergasted by Cake Cup. I don't know. That's why this guy's not a caster, not very creative. But Chartron will go down, so a good start for the Foxians. But we do have Annihilation trying to walk down War once again. This Brigitte has not had a good time so far in the face of Ramatra. Ran back to spawn. That's the wrong team spawn, War. That's the wrong team spawn, but your team did win the fight on cart, so not too bad. The distraction worked. As War down.
The trap kill from Hardchar, too.
The Junkrat was the play all along.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like the Junkrat. Just, like, they're gonna hard brawl. You have one last point. Like, you know they're gonna stack 5. Just blow them up while they're right next to each other. I think it makes a lot of sense. Maybe Mei is, like, more conventional, but... And then I think Akua swapping to the Pharah is great as well.
I mean, is the Ana as well from War just kind of a response to the Moira from Nuttier? We'll have to see. Going forward, the barrage of the backline, finding 2. Cupcake will eventually get it, but you'll have projectile characters taking out hit scans after their own death. A trigger on a Dante Fanfan in the trap.
Wow.
And now 3 minutes in the bank, but it has been looking pretty good here on point B. We need to see some switches here for the Froggas if they want a chance.
Yeah, I mean, huge value from Akua and Hardchar, in my opinion. And then I think the War swap into the Ana makes a lot of sense. Like, you need to play risky here. I think it's just one fight. Might as well go Ana and try to nade and just get early picks.
The boot, but Chartron lands safely on the boat, keeping the Lucio alive. That would have been a huge pick, getting the beat out of the way. But now we'll see the wall from Dante Fanfan locked to the high ground to access, but Akua goes right around that one. Jack still is over to Ray. Akua is in the backline looking down Charvatron and gets that kill. The beat is out of the fight for now. A huge support ultimate now gone, but Dante Fanfan exchanges another big support ultimate out of the way. Now Nuttier push forward with the coalescence. The bomb from Dire trying to get something done here. Akua still keeping alive. Nuttier dies to a bomb on Moira, of all things. And that'll be another fight victory here, but you did just use coalescence for exchange for, the self-destruct, so still Both teams' ult economy is looking fairly strong, but you're very close to keeping.
Yeah, I think like the Foxians comp is so much more better in neutral, right? They want they want that crazy spam, right? As we see, this is where it's gonna be difficult. Like you said, 4 ultimates. I don't know. I mean, what do you even do? I feel like this is gonna be very difficult.
Big
tire. You tire and pray. Those are your two options. Might as well do both.
Looking for here, teams going up on the high ground once again. Akua noting this presence here, has barrage so they need it. I mean, Akua is way behind enemy lines right now, and so is Harchar. Harchar taking the long way around here with his tire. Nana invested over on towards Dire. Cupcake though takes down the tire. Shuts that one down, and now Fancy walking in with Annihilation will expire away. Akua with that barrage, not gonna get Cupcake this time. The trap comes out on a McChicken, but has the block to keep himself alive. Jack does have this orbital ray, but do they have a touch? With this blizzard from Dante Fanfan, it will be tough. Jack isolated, taken on down. Cupcake with a high noon for good measure. The death bombs though from Harchar, but they don't have a touch. And yeah, just too many almost for the Frogez there for the Foxians to live on through the tire. Not big by any means, and that would be match point right now for the Frogez.
Yeah, I think I like the swaps. I genuinely like the swaps to the Junk and the Far. I think it makes a lot of sense. The issue is just like they saved all of their ults, and Far ult and Junk ult just aren't. They just don't do enough, right? And they didn't do enough. If they had, maybe a bit more even, but just save ults and blow them up.
And yeah, now the Foxians holding on, through short playoff hopes by a single thread now at match point against the Frogez going to map 4. Where do they go? I'll have to wait and see. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Overwatch Clash continues after a short little break.
These beats are the purest. Prove it.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Season 6 Week 11 match between the Westfarthing Frogez and the Fyxestroll Foxians. We saw the Frogas adapting to the Foxians' playstyle of the aggressive diva on Rialto, taking that map. What did get to be a fairly dicey end of map situation, but they got done nonetheless. Now we're going down to Esperanza, the pick of the Foxians here, and it's fairly interesting because we've seen the Foxians' biggest successes coming on Hollywood and Rialto second with his high ground control, and Esperanza really doesn't have any of that ready to go here for a push.
Yeah, orbs for both. I hope we see it. I hope these are the comps we see this entire time. Yeah, I think a big part is this is the Foxians' less comfortable comp or lineup, so that's going to be a bit of an issue for them. Are we actually running Torb on both? That would be crazy.
HPSec probably will run the Torb. Yeah, especially with the Orisa. I know that HPSec loves getting some hammer kills, you know, in the on the down low, but we're going to be seeing Cupcake on the Tracer. So obviously a solo read from HPSec off the bench, picking the Torb to counter out this Tracer, but Dire will be switching.
Cupcake's going to have a horrible time. And
also Dire on the Orisa here, trying to maybe punish this Junker Queen play a lot more. Nakua, not really. You know, Kua can play his game, but no more for that flex DPS, trying to show off the hyper flexibility he possibly has coming up here for the Foxians. The knife not going to land for McChicken right now. Again, just a very aggressive push on Jack, falling very low, and Dante Fanfan capitalized on that one. Big Suzu, 4-man Suzu. And they're going to punish this aggression, this pushing off the kill of Jack. And with Ward just 1 HP, can't quite get the final blow. And then would be the Foxes take his first push.
Yeah, and Cupcake swapping into the Ashe makes a lot of sense, right? Better, good into the cast, good into the Torb. Yeah, kind of good into the Orisa, I guess. No one's really good into Orisa, but it makes a lot of sense. This engage is going to be interesting, though. I think a good wall, and then swap into the Ram as well. Ram will be difficult to play into this Ori. I like the Queen more, but maybe just swap Monkey. I don't know.
Both supports now already gone for the Frogas in a very quick. I mean, Jack dies once again, but that might just be all that they're gonna get out of this one. MidChicken going. Oh god! Akua is trying to get the BM kill over here on a Dante Fanfan and gets it with the high noon. And with that stagger, that's probably gonna be a checkpoint here. Dante Fanfan not anywhere near the fight. Cupcake could get killed out here as well. Suzu forced out a Nuttier, and Dire holding the space for now, but Cupcake Bus Scratch activated, and Foxians holding us to him at 5.
Yeah, I mean, Foxians feel so solid. I mean, I don't know if anyone's died yet. Maybe one person.
Jack
but
has died twice.
Okay. But besides that, they have such a solid comp.
Oh, Kua does get walled off here with the Casino Rush helping, but Dire is there with the Terror Surge ready to go online. Throws it down immediately here. Once this block is gone, down to Fanfan, we know more. Evaporated before our very eyes. McChicken trying to bring it back here. Trying to find War. Finally, another person than Jack will die, but Fox can still have numbers here. Aphasiac with the Molten Core. The Suzu forced as well. And Nakua lets the kill feed, and Jack actually stays alive for a fight and built over to Ray for his next engagement. But 90 meters here, big advantage with Fox going forward and looking pretty good for a map 5 right now. Yeah,
Foxians are winning the fights that go long. Okay, or you get picked. The Foxians are winning the fights that go short, unless you get picked. Without those picks, though, another great pick. Without those picks, though, I don't know how they're going to break through the Foxians, especially with some great ults coming up. Also, Dire's surviving way longer than he should be here.
Yeah, I mean, we got McChicken 1v1ing a Torbjorn 10,000 miles away playing American Sniper, and Dire just standing on point, staying alive. We'll probably get most people back in time for a checkpoint.
Wow, great Suzu. That was insane.
That was a perfect time. I didn't quite see where Kua was there. Prod sadly missed that one, but going for a flank high noon. But like you said, great Suzu from Nuttier, keeps team alive. And lets him know. Cupcake 1 HP though. The wall from Dante Fanfan forced to keep the Ashe alive. So big exchange here for turns of cooldowns. But Bob for Cupcake charge on with this beat will stay alive through the Molten Core. A lot being invested here for the Frogas, and they're not finding the picks. In fact, the Foxes turn us around with the order ray from Jack and the spacing of HPSX Molten Core.
Yeah, I mean, how do you kill them, right? Like, unless you're getting some pick on the Ashe, like, how are you killing anybody on the Foxians? It just seems impossible. I'm not quite sure what they should swap to. I don't know. I guess Queen makes sense, right? honestly kind of would like the Zarya. Obviously, very traditional counter to the Ori, but I also think that just raw damage can help you break through their defenses. Or just going for more bursty on Jack. I feel like Jack is the linchpin. If they can kill Jack, the Foxians
They
fall
killed
apart.
Jack the first 2 fights, and they didn't fall apart, so we'll
Yeah,
just
that's
see.
true. That's true.
He's a linchpin for his team by being the bait, but here comes a quick Casino Rush out from Nadir. Does force out the wall, but also kind of negates the advance it had with the Casino Rush. Now War can engage with a much later one, and Nadir will go down. McChicken stuck in tough position on cart, trying to stay alive, but April going in with the hammer, trying to find one that Akua steals it from him. Steals the aura move from HVSec. It's a sad day for that one, but I mean, yeah, just able to survive that Casino Rush with the Terra Surge. A great play from the Foxians. Good counter. Akua with the High Noon is going to get taken down. No, they're going to get down to Fan, and it's just chaos, and the Foxians are thriving in it. Over to Ray out from Jack here, and they're just going to push the spawn doors. Nadir stuck in tough position over on towards the minivan. Can they get even 1 kill for their troubles? They will not, and that will be a full cap on Esperanza. The Foxians, that wasn't even close. We've seen some very even back and forth maps, but this one looking a lot like Antarctic Peninsula in terms of Foxians. Now we're going to map 5. Very close series.
Yeah, I was told that this was their weaker comp. They looked absolutely amazing. I
don't know,
I don't know what you do.
I told you that because Akua was on tank. I didn't mean that the HVSec was the worst player. It's just that Akua was on tank, not DPS. That's why the comp was worse.
Ah, okay.
It appears that you've read the misinformation correctly, but... Yeah, I mean, now we're going on to map 5. I know the Froggas are fairly quick in selecting maps and team swaps, so potentially we'll stay online with the stream here while we wait for them to come on through talking about this map 5. This is a kind of a big deal because even though the Foxians might end up taking the series, it doesn't lock them in by any means. It gets into position to stay alive, but winning this one would only be a +1 for your map differential, leaving them with a -1 on the season with a 5-6 record, which would have them tied with the Bobcats for map diff, and the Funkin' Down Floppas only -2, so the Floppas have a great chance of potentially piggybacking over them with a win over the Purple Apes, which is, of course, no small task in itself, but the Apes have something to fight for here, trying to get up to that 4th seed, I believe, which would send the Sydney Sea Dragons down to number 5. So big shakeups coming in for the next couple of days here over the last few matches of our regular season, and I mean, we'll see. The Froggas, I did look, they're kind of locked to 6, so they aren't really fighting for too much here for the position. They will be fighting out the 3 seed, but it just depends who they're fighting. It could be the Quails or Sea Dragons, and I don't envy them either way for that matchup. Yeah, I mean, what do the Froggas need to do for map 5 here, which is going to be New Junk City, to try to kind of counter out that just pure aggression we saw from the Foxians look here?
Yeah, well, first off, I think the Foxians stay the same comp. I mean, like, I think it's fine on this map as well. Maybe a couple points, not as much so, but I think it looks great. I don't know. Like, I think Zarya makes sense, right? If they're sharing the same comp, I don't think Queen is the answer. I really don't. I think Zarya makes a lot of sense.
Can't play Zarya. That's not included.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So what is it? Doom, Ram.
Hog, Ram, and Queen. There's really no answer to what the Orisa can bring. We saw the Fox. Yeah. We saw the Froggas start the season off very strong. I believe starting 5-0, but had gone 1-4 since because of Orisa's prevalence in the meta. And we saw that, Nadir was kind of celebrating that Orisa was dead in general chat once it happened, thinking that the Froggas kind of, survived the demons right in time for playoffs. But we're seeing now the Orisa still viable in her nerf state, of course, but we're seeing the struggles of the Froggas against an Orisa comp.
Yeah, potentially match them, right? Like, I don't think they will do it, but potentially just Ram's good at surviving too. Obviously not as good as Ori, but go Ram and kind of match this like hard survive. But then also if Akua is going Reaper, who's great on this point, but like, I don't know, McChicken's gonna have a horrible time. I don't know. I mean, that's a hard hero pool to play into what the Foxians are playing. So
I'm guessing the teams, the 3 seed, the Quails and or the Sea Dragons or Apes are taking notes here because, we've seen the entire season so far, the Orisa has just been the Achilles heel of this Froggas team. If you match them, we saw how good they looked on Antarctic Peninsula in the Queen Mirror, but now with the Orisa back in play, we're seeing struggles and sadly kind of re-emerging here for the Froggas, which could be Devastating from playoffs time, but we're not done just yet. We're at map 5 here at New Junk City. Foxians trying to hold on to their playoff spot. A potential. Looking forward to Dante Fan falling very low, forces the block pretty early here. Infosec's turret on this off angle will get taken down here, but Dire just keeping McChicken back with the recent cooldowns. The wall not gonna quite isolate anybody, was just barely off a pixel. And now McChicken and Dante Fan bullied into a corner. Dire just took their lunch money and trying to get what their lives is nuttier, but can't get the TP out long enough. Now Cupcake in a tough spot. Can they get the Cassidy out alive? Just trying to run away, but they will not, and the stagger is there. Chartron gets a bit of an assist back to spawn with Javelin here. But Akua push him even more forward, and again, no answer so far from the Froggies.
Yeah, Dante Fan swapping to the Junk. Unironically, 2 different players play Junk, and I think both of them are good swaps. I think if they're going to play this hard brawl, play the characters that blow up the hard brawl. I think potentially Cupcake even swapping to like a Bastion or something makes a lot of sense. Just if they're going to hard defense, hard offense. Hard offense more than they can defense. Maybe that's her only option here.
And there's the hard offense right there, getting a kill on your opposite number being Cupcake taking down Akua, and now here comes the aggressive push from the Froggies. Pushed him back. The mid-air shot on a jack from Dante Fan with his concussive mines. And we will get a flip right back here for the Froggies. And like you said, you like to stop on a Junkrat, and we saw it pay dividends, just forcing out the cooler from Dire pretty early in the fight, and McChicken pushing off that one.
Yeah, I also think just a key part of playing against Ori in how the Foxians are playing is just completely ignoring her. Like, you're not going to kill her. There's no way. Kill the Cass and the Torb. They're so much more reasonable, or potentially if you can get to, like, the Juno, then obviously do that. But this is pushing into a Junk Cass Queen is not fun. This is going to be very difficult for them, even though they have that high survivability.
And Charge on Sky in that one. Here comes the high noon. Are they going to find anybody? No, it does isolate McChicken, though, in the small little room. Does he have assist? The TP Suzu is perfectly placed. The Rampage is there, but gets pulled back in with the Terra Surge. Still 1-for-1 exchange on both these sides, but McChicken's coming out on top. Find the kills, fighting 4. Or fighting 3. I thought they got Jack at the end, but Jack will just skate away. But that will probably be the first point going the way the Frog is. Finally, McChicken gets their 4th prognosticator, finally vindicated there. And yeah, great look right now. The Junkrat paying dividends. Froggies might have broken open. We'll see. And he swaps here. Kua over onto the Sojourn for a second. Back to the Cassidy.
What I'm worried about is that Junk is great on this point, but not as good on the follow-up points. I think that this close quarter is so good for Junk, but after this, potentially swap Pharah, right? Same kind of idea, but a lot better in the more open air. But I don't think Junk is bad on this point, honestly. But then swapping Akua, swapping to the Genji, interesting. I kind of like it. I don't know. I kind of don't like it, honestly. I feel like that plays right into what the Froggas want.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it, but I mean, Akua has made things work in the past that I haven't felt, so we'll see what they got cooking up here. Down to Fan still has this tire, probably trying to wait out war with a Suzu, but Dire falling very low on point. Might just get taken down before the fight can really break out here. Akua getting pelted around by these magnetic grenades from the Junkrat. But Cupcake finding 2 headshot kills. The tire takes a long way around, and will eventually find the kill in an HP second. Now we're going to have the Froggas once again in control of the point, and they just had to use tire for that one. Still have beat ready to go. It's looking pretty rough for the Foxes. It might have been figured out.
Yeah, this is scary. I mean, this is, I don't know. What do you even swap though? Like, I don't like the Genji. I feel like even though 50 to blade, you just got to swap. I don't think it's worth it. Potentially swap off the Ori, right? I think that makes sense. And then probably, it sounds like Stained Torb is just a comfort pick. I don't know.
The D.Va wouldn't be too bad here, actually.
D.Va?
Just trying to eat the spam
like
away from the Junkrat, put some pressure on Charge on Nuttier and Cupcake with the defense matrix. But Akua dumps on in, does find opening kill over on Dante Fan. McChicken gets jabbed out of their axe, and that will be a pretty clean fight victory. Here's Akua making the Genji work there for a fight in HP Sec as well. No ults needed for that one for either team. So we're going to see a Q-Fester coming up here, Topaz. Next fight, look at all of them ready to come online.
Goodbye. Yeah, I think, I mean, Akua now has Blade, right? I was wrong, 100%. Genji was a great pick, apparently. And then also, like, Ori ult plus Blade is great. I'm just hoping they don't over ult. That's what I want to use a couple of ults, but not use everything.
We're going to have a very aggressive push in from Dyer, trying to get down the Junkrat. We'll do just that. So opening pick here. Cupcake as well, flying low. The Suzu is there, but Cupcake will get taken down. McChicken does end up trading out for War, but that's all they're going to get here, as now they can stagger out Junk Queen a little bit. And probably bring it to last fight territory and or just count the point outright. With McChicken still on respawn, they might get one more touch here. 70% is going to be very tough and very scrappy.
Yeah. I'm worried that they use too many. I'm worried that they use just one too many. Maybe save Orbital and just use Blade with Torb. I don't know. We'll see. They should have a good recontest here, though.
Yeah, here comes a Casino Rush out from Nuttier. Makes a space for them, and now we have very fast high noon. Jack is playing with their life right there. Dyer stays alive for just a split second, but that's not too much here. The beat doesn't Ajax aside from Chartron, just dodging that blade out. And that will be the Frog taking the second point here, despite the best efforts. And like you said, Prize one ult too many. We would love to have the Orbit Array and or, you know, the Terror Surge just for more survivability on your tank there. And the Frog take a second point, and they're now at match point to try to send the Foxians home.
Yeah, great beat from Charbotron. Absolutely amazing. I don't know. I think swaps, right? Like the Genji was working at first. It doesn't feel as good now. I just don't know who you swap to. Like you said, the D.Va. I think the D.Va makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, walking in here for a very quick fight there. Down to Fan eats the wrong side of a torpedo from Jack, and with the Junkrat gone, that's basically all your spam damage away. Somehow McChicken stay alive through all this pressure. Is still alive through all this dive and has a shout, just getting the bleed damage up, but all it's doing is prolonging their sad and untimely death. Another TP Suzu's in, but just sees the corpse of Junker Queen. And the point flip will go for the way the Foxians first this time. And we've seen, you know, the Froggers take a first fight victory to some caps, so a good swap here for the Foxians in terms of that.
Yeah, the Foxians want to play defense, right? They want to play this bunker kind of style, and then the Genji kind of pick off any stragglers. This Tire could potentially play into the Tire and the Rampage are playing against how Dyer and his team are trying to play, though.
I mean, the Tire is here trying to find anything up on towards his high ground. Can they find a target? They will find Akua. So pretty good start right now, but the Orbit Array is going to be on point with the Terror Surge. Chartron in a tough position. Still very even exchanges on both these sides here. Morton Core out from Aphis on the point, trying to get a kill. Dante Fan falling so low. Now Dyer just playing in. Forces out the Rampage here from McChicken, so not too bad in terms of ult exchanges now with the Morton Core. And one fight territory for both teams, but you did invest quite a bit. If you are, Akua's still there. Nah, I'd win. I don't think so.
If only had Blade, could have killed 4. But I think it's gonna be Kitsune into Kitsune, right? I prefer to have the Blade also on my team than the Deadeye, right? Potentially Deadeye warding off the Akua Blade, but maybe a good deflect, make him regret his decisions a little bit. This is not over.
Yeah, Akua still have his Blade and a bit of a off angle, but Charbotron spots out this Genji, and Jack down early. Here comes the Blade out from Akua, trying to clutch up for his team, already down both supports. The Casinos on point, they do get 2, but still the Casinos advantage from Nutter should they decide they need it, but I think they're holding on to it for as long as possible can. They will not need it, and that might just be mapping, might be series. As McChicken lights the kill feed with multiple. The Torbjorn turret almost gets Cupcake, but War back on the Lucio, but 4% away. Not gonna get the touch.
Oh.
Jack will be there, gets Cupcake, so I mean the speed ring stays alive, and maybe a cool on Tracer. Oh, Dante Fan lights up that Tracer though and takes him on down. Casino Rush from Nuttier on the return. And just too many ultimates, too many cooldowns. The beat for celebration for the Frogez. As the Foxes now have to hope for a 3-0 sweep for the Purple Apes over the Floppas, and the door is now wide open for a lot of teams. I believe that also locks in the Bobcats for their spot at the 7th seed.
It does, yeah. Okay, I think it's a great fight, though. I mean, I think some of the swaps, I mean, 2 unironic junk swaps was definitely the highlight of the match, in my opinion. And I think they played them great. And the defensive comp of the... What was it? Torb. What was it? Torb, Ori, and what was the other DPS? Cass? What was it? Whatever. The Foxians hyper defense style I think worked really well. But the the counter was surprising to me. I feel like what the Froggers were playing shouldn't have countered it, but it did. So very impressive. Good decisions, especially with the limited hero pool and solving that puzzle. Very impressive by them.
Yeah, now we gotta decide ourselves a match MVP here. So they had tiebreak. I'm trying to look through the schedule. I didn't see. Yeah, okay. So the Foxians did beat the Floppers last week, so it is tiebreak over them. So yeah, any win by the Apes will send the Foxians to the playoffs. So still in a decent spot here. Floppers are definitely on the. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that one. Definitely on the wrong side of the seeding there on the 9th seed with this trying to 3-0 the Apes or just win the Apes in any fashion to take him home. That's an incorrect team that didn't win. The Quails did not actually win a second game in a row for not playing. But yeah, now the Foxians were here. They follow the Froggers, and Froggers, we got to find an MVP for the Froggers. I was going, finally. Who you got in your mind there, Topaz? I mean,
yeah,
everybody on the Froggers played pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Charbaton played well. I think interesting.
And I mean,
Dante
I know
fan maybe even. I think
Dante
Fan played well.
The team would be upset if we didn't give it to any of us but Charbatron. So
okay, well we have to choose Charbatron then. I think Charbatron played great. I think Charbatron played amazing.
I would agree with that one. So we'll go ahead and bring her in for a quick interview as well. Get her thoughts on locking in that 6th seed going into our playoffs. Let's see. And there she is. Congratulations on the win, Charbatron. 3-2 fashion over the Foxians, and just denying them one more day for playoff locking in. And just initial thoughts after the game here.
I'm just glad that it went well, and I felt like everybody was pretty locked in tonight, which is always exciting. I feel like it's rough when we're down Chloe, but everybody was ready to go, and yeah, I'm just excited we played well. So.
Topaz?
Yeah, I think you played really well. I guess my question is against that like hyper defensive like Ori, Torb kind of stuff that the Foxians were playing. How did you guys decide on the comp that you used to beat it and the play style that you used?
Honestly, I feel like for us, one of our main things is we just try and focus on living and playing things that we're comfortable on. So like, I play a lot of Lucio, and I know that I'm the best on Lucio, so I just played Lucio like pretty much the whole match.
Did anybody hear that? Charbatron claiming she's the best on Lucio. So I need to see some Lucio one. Nope, I need to see some Lucio ones in playoffs. Nope, you said it. Nope.
No, you're the best Lucio.
You're the best Lucio.
I mean, Chio, Funny Astro, who are those people?
They're my best character, not that.
No, I don't think so. We'll talk over until you accept your fate and take the 1v1s in the playoffs against people. We'll get, like Yak on Lucio. We'll get Marduk on Lucio.
Play Lucio.
Yeah, why not?
Hopefully we play.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of who you're going to play, it's still heavily up in the air who the 3 seed is going to be. It's between, the City Sea Dragons, the Quails, and the Apes, I believe. Quails might have locked in the 3 seed, actually, last night with their victory. I think that their sayings are incorrect. So I think they're locked in to the 3 seed. So you're playing the Quails, at least
okay.
3 seed is Slouchers. Okay, so Quails took 2 seed. You're taking on the Slouchers then, the 3 seed, because of map break. Thoughts on the Slouchers? They've been looking pretty strong this entire season, and anybody you're excited to play on their team, and or any trash talk you want to give for your matchup?
We've just been really hoping to play the Slouchers because we played them was it last week, I think, and it felt like a really close match. So we're just super excited to play them again because I feel like we can beat them next time that we play them, and I think it'll be a good game.
You played them 2 weeks ago, and it was a 3-2 win for the Slouchers, so still a very back-and-forth affair. And that was, I believe, during the recent medal, so everything's have changed since the little nerf there. What else you got there, Topaz? Anything, or you want to take El Clasico away?
Yeah, I mean, I think El Clasico. If you weren't MVP, who would be MVP?
I think I would choose Nadir for MVP because he is like such a voice of leadership on the team, and I feel like especially today, while we were missing people, he really stepped up and helped to lead us.
Charbatron, it's okay. If he's holding the gun to the back of your head right now, you blink twice.
he's not even in the room, so.
Well, that sounds good.
That's exactly what someone with a gun to their head would say. Just saying.
He's not even in the same stage as you right now. Haha, he's somewhere else. He's home with his little talking cards for you to say, but
yeah, puts the lotion on its skin.
We'll send you back to your team to celebrate the 6-seed lock-in, and we look forward to you guys against the Slouchers in round 1 of the playoffs. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And yeah, with that being said, Topaz, a map 5 here. So both their games recently going to map 5 for playoff potential. So you love seeing the teams kind of ramping things up here for our final weekend, ready to go into that playoff mode. And yeah, I mean, I'm just excited now. We're seeing the Froggers and the Slouchers both been playing at a very high level, and the rest of the teams also kind of setting their game up. So should be exciting coming up here.
Yeah, I'm also excited. The special Midwest Madness land as well. Shout out to that, and then just the game that we'll be playing there. Very excited for that. And I think the last couple of games that we have, especially that Slouchers game, should be very exciting as well. A lot on the line. A lot for several teams on the line when it comes to that game.
Yeah, but tomorrow, speaking of on the line, all of it is on the line for the Floppers tomorrow. Again, the Apes beat them by any means, 3-2, 3-1, 3-0, and they're out of the playoffs. So fighting for that final 8th seed. This is going to be the Floppers at 8 p.m. tomorrow on the main channel, brought to you by me and Wind. And then, speaking of teams that have everything to play for, the Chip Cuppa and the Schnabeltier play on Sunday at 7 p.m. And we'll see if we can get that one casted as well for playoffs for a kickoff in a couple weeks here after land, like you said, next week. So, yeah, I mean, if you got nothing else, Topaz, I'll send us away.
Yeah, a great game today. I think great 5-0 or 5 map 3-2.
5-0. We're playing League of Legends Worlds right now, but yep. For Topaz, I've been Boone. Thank you all so much for watching. We hope to see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Floppers and Apes, with the final playoff spot on the line. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a great